欢迎回来。上场比赛之中，老干爹虽然说在前半段一直有着决胜的机会，但是那一波大龙最终让他们是梦碎在了那一刻，又是死在大龙手里。没错。
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the 2014 League of Legends Pro League Summer Playoffs. Coming into game number 3. So it's do or die for LGD as they have dropped down 0-2. Starhorn Royal Club. Korn, the MVP of game number 1. Not a deathless performance like UZI got in game 1, but still 10-1-4. His Yasuo was just incredible. And one of the big factors towards LGD's, or towards Starhorn, rather, second win in a row. Welcome back to the LPL, of course, commentated here live in English on Twitch TV, made possible in part by our friends at Games in Asia and Esports Heaven. My name is Rapid, I'm here with Nero, and Nero, what happened there in Game 2? Because if LGD got off to an okay start in Game 1, they got off to an even better start this game after a failed dive down bottom, but from there on out, it was all Starhorn all the way.
Well, they had Wayless on Orianna, so that already was a great thing for them. But then Korn on Yasuo happened. I think he got like 2 triple kills, and that's when Starhorn just won the game. It was just Korn getting 1 triple kill in the middle lane fight, then the other in the Baron pit, and that's what hurt LGD the most. Even though they got this Baron, they lost 5 men right after that. So they need to have better Baron execution, because Baron is a great objective in China.
But the big struggle for me is that if that's about the best chance that LGD will get at getting comfort picks. They got Wayless's Orianna, which is arguably his best champion. You know, he's been known to play some weird other kind of alternate champions. He brought out AP Kog'Maw before, so he has some niche picks, but the Orianna is the champion we've seen him just crush with before, and well, he did not have that big a performance on it this time around. Especially, same situation as game 1, he just let his lane opponent get out of control, and just Korn versus Wayless is a matchup Korn wins every single game. So a lot of focus to be put on that matchup, and at the same time you have to catch out on UZI. Of course, he's all dried off from his Ice Bucket challenge earlier. Ready to hop here into game number 3, Starhorn back on the blue side versus LGD.
UZI called out Tabi right there on the Ice Bucket Challenge, so I definitely want to see that tomorrow. And there we go, picks and bans for LGD versus Starhorn. And actually coming back to Wayless's Orianna, the question is, was he really stepping it up so well that it was crushing everyone? Or was it just EDG or World Lead underperforming? Because overall, in the LPL regular season, his Orianna was 6 wins, 5 losses. So it's not like it's a perfect stat.
It's not perfect by any means, but when it does work, it works very, very well. Or at least that's what we've seen it. He also has that Lissandra, which he has defaulted to several times over the course of the playoffs. Of course, most notably in the last 2 games of the 3-game set that's LGD played versus Edward Gaming. But both of those were in fact losses, so might not see the Lissandra come out again unless he is really, really comfortable with it. And primarily it is used to lock down the enemy AD carry, which has not been something that LGD have been able to accomplish in many of their fights.
Once again, Lee Sin and Orianna left out unbanned right there, but once again there's also this Yasuo open. So we'll get to see Starhorn do get the first pick this time around, and LGD, they will want to get the Lee Sin most probably and the Orianna, but well, Orianna didn't work in the previous game.
But it is still going to be locked in and taken away from Wayless. So he'll be playing way less Orianna this game than he did in game number 1. 17 will try to trade the same thing back towards Korn. He'll take his mid laner back away. This time it'll be on to Wayless. So
yeah, but once again there's the question if 17 or Wayless will play this Yasuo.
In game 1, 17's Yasuo never really got off the ground, and so probably a Wayless carry, but like you said, also a possibility for 17. Another opportunity for LGD is to save that pick for, you know, this phase of the pick and ban phase and make sure that they can take that Lee Sin away from Insec.
Oh yeah, the Lee Sin is taken away. There's the Rengar ban, and we have Insec on Jarvan yet again. But once again, there is this Braum for 0. to be honest, he missed a lot of Winter's Bites and the Glacial Fissures in the previous game, but that must have been just a one game
Oh, but
of
Nero,
underperforming.
Here is the hype,
there.
the Vayne lock-in for XQ. And granted, it is going to be most likely going into UZI's Lucian, which is still very strong and has that lane bully potential, but this could actually signal something very good for LGD. Lane swaps have not been Insect's friend as far as this synergizing with the side lanes, and so pulling this 2v1 potential, you don't want to run Vayne directly into Lucian in the 2-on-2 laning phase, just because of what a lane bully Lucian is. So maybe a Riven pick. All right, we saw the hover over for the Lissandra. This is most likely a support Lulu.
Yeah, I hope it is support Lulu because 17 just cannot play Lulu in the top lane.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. It's going to be the Lissandra locked in. PYL going to take that one down for Wayless. So when you have a mid laner that can lock down the enemy AD carry and an AD carry that will, for all intents and purposes, outscale UZI's Lucian, really all you have to do is make it through the first 15 minutes of the game or so, and that combo really starts to come into effect. But could this be a top lane Lissandra for 17, or are they going to switch that one back to Wayless mid?
And that's actually a good idea to put this Lissandra in the top lane and Wayless on a carry, because usually 17 is supposed to support Wayless and not carry himself. So that should be a good idea, but no, they swap it at the last second.
They swap it at the last second, and we'll put it mid onto Wayless. That's a little bit more expected since he did play that previously, and, well, you saw the Yasuo in game number 1 come out of 17. We'll see if second time's the charm for that, and if third time is the charm for LGD. This is their playoff hopes on the line. If they lose this match, they'll have 4th place in the LPL 2014 Summer Playoffs, so hop into game number 3 here in just a minute. Starhorn Royal Club versus LGD.
已经是在悬崖边了，看一下老干爹能不能够悬崖勒马。来，双方选手都已经准备就绪，马上进入双方的第3场比赛。
每天睡个饱，还有燕窝蜂蜜柚子茶，蜂蜜带来健康，柚子带来美丽，健康美丽喝小优，燕窝蜂蜜柚子茶。
这边比赛已经开始，蓝色方就是皇族，红色方是老干爹。这边是双方的赛点局。老干爹如果想赢的话，要连赢3把。
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the LPL. This is game number 3 in our best of 5 playoff series. For 4th place, Starhorn Royal Club up 2 games to 0. Is LGD going for a deep 5-man invade? They get scouted out already. 0. There with the winner's bite to check things out.
Well, today is the day one of the teams from the playoffs gets eliminated. So it's a really tough day for LGD if they get knocked out, because that gives us a taste of what the regionals will look like. Of course, there will be Invictus Gaming also, but LGD, if they lose every single series in the playoffs, they're most probably going to have a tough time at the regionals too.
Now, 17's starting to get a little bit aggressive here with Korn, and he actually will get the knockup. So, Flash forced out. Nice pickup on the Summoner spell there for LGD off of what wasn't really all that aggressive of an invade. Korn was just a little bit out of position, and he'll blow Flash level 1.
Yeah, and actually, I expected UZI to pick up a lot of Vayne, but he hasn't even gone for it a single time in the playoffs. Meanwhile, XQ picks it up on the other hand, and let's see. UZI definitely knows how to play Vayne, which probably tells him how to play against it.
Already you can see Starhorn react to the Vayne pick by, I guess, trying to read the duo lane swap and setting UZI and Zero up top lane. Because traditionally you will send your duo bottom if you are on blue side, and then let the lane swap, swap the other direction up top lane. But with the duo top for LGD, they're going to be forced to walk right in to Zero and UZI, who are already in lane. They'll take the long way around. They'll miss the first couple creeps, and that could give the level 2 to UZI and Zero, who are just going to be waiting to pounce on this relatively weaker early game matchup.
Oh yeah, we'll get to see. But XQ, if he farms up, if he ramps up towards the late game, that might be a tough time for Starhorn. But there's, on the other hand, we have a Jax for Cola. That's also a great champion. He loves to play,
but
but
look at
Insec...
Insec. He's trying to make it away. He flashes away, but he's got Chuan on the chase rather, as well. It will jump over the wall. The Sonic Wave misses, and Insec gets out alive. No steal there, but look at the level 2 aggression. We saw it, we talked about it, and there it is. The damage coming down, split perfectly between PYL. Now it's actually UZI forced to flash away. Glitter Lance will land. XQ wants to go back in, but UZI forced to blow flash off of a very bad level 2 trade.
Yeah, they wanted to put the pressure on XQ's Vayne. In the end, they were forced to back away themselves. But still, there is the flash, exhaust, and a heal burn for LGD, so they come out on top by a little bit. But UZI is very low on health.
So double summoners down for PYL, whereas Zero still has both of his up. And PYL, as the shot caller, he's the one that, you know, is known for his crazy engages. Like, when you talk about supports that know when to go in, PYL is right on top of the list. And that is the shot calling position that he serves for the team. But now with no summoners, he's going to have a little bit of a more difficult time doing that. So 3-1 as far as summoners are concerned in that top lane, but the pressure definitely in favor of LGD.
Oh yeah, and well, bottom lane, Cola versus 17, that definitely is an interesting matchup, and we'll get to see how it works out, because 17 had some really great ultimates in the game 1. Still, it didn't translate into winning the game itself, but Cola, he usually is the one to come out on top of the trades in 1v1 fights.
Bottom lane, though, Cola, he's not coming out on top of any trades there versus 17. Losing that matchup pretty hard level 1, or from level 1 onto here. Now, Twen, the curse of LGD continues, trying to bait things out while standing on wards. And yeah, he will need a sweeping lens before he's able to be quite so incognito.
Yeah, that's a bit of an unfortunate thingy for LGD. It's the second time they do this. At least this time around it was just one member of the team. They're not losing global experience right here. There we go, they invade on the jungle, and LGD might be looking for a top lane gank instead.
No, Insec is in the area, but he'll be forced out of his own jungle. LGD going for a very aggressive early roam, but now look at UZI, and Zero could be in a lot of trouble there, dashing back to their turret. They'll stay alive. But for how long and at what cost? Like, they called Twen up there, and there's no presence from Insec bottom lane, so they didn't even have to worry about losing an early dragon.
But UZI burned his heal, and now he's pretty vulnerable in this top lane. And yeah, not a lot of dragon pressure, with the junglers focusing on the top lane, with solo lanes being around the bot. And Whalers versus Korn and Orianna versus Lissandra, that is a very interesting matchup. It is going to be a lot of fun.
It's true, and especially with the Lissandra most likely going the offensive route of like a Deathfire's Grasp. So top lane, the engage on a PYL. They catch him with his, well, with his summoners down. And we'll take him out there. Zero, that's just off of a Winter's Bite, keep in mind. The flash, the ignite, Zero making the plays happen for first blood on Starhorn.
Oh yeah, even though they made some questionable plays in the top lane, they still get the first blood right there, and the first blood lands onto UZI. You don't want to see that happen when you're playing against Starhorn, and LGD make it once again. It's not shaping up too good for them.
Now, Twen is coming up top lane to help out XQ, but he's coming into the lane in an aggressive position. And now with the ward coming out here, there is the safeguard, and he gets the Tempest. There's the cripple. Zero might be going down here. The condemn against the wall. UZI might be in a lot of trouble. One more auto attacks. All it's going to take. No silver bolts to proc, but up from behind, Wayless flashing in underneath the turret. XQ needs one more. The auto attack misses. He ults himself, and Wayless keeps himself alive with a perfect Glacial Tomb.
But there comes Korn.
Oh, Wayless, did he get auto attacked?
Oh, he misses.
Oh, but he gets ignited anyway. So Korn finds one kill off the back of that. But finally finding something going the way of LGD. They pick up kills for the carries on Wayless and XQ.
Well, that was still a little bit of a misplay by Korn. He had to flash in and miss his Q, to then just ignite and get the kill finally.
My God.
300,
It's
300 gold lead for Starhorn in the end, so that was the first blood.
Alright, so worth as far as the early aggression is concerned, but it's 4 kills in 7 minutes. So we're already off to a good LPL-esque style start. I'm not going to define that as, you know, never mind. I'm not even going to say it, because we all know what we're thinking. The aggressiveness from Starhorn, primarily off of the counter lane matchup top lane. That's where you see all the action coming out. But it's been paying off, both for the mid laners off the roams and for the duos. UZI and XQ both finding kills for themselves respectively. And UZI, you can notice he passed up the opportunity to pick up a hyper carry like Tristana, like Kog'Maw, for the scaling aspect, and said, look, if I'm going to win this game, I'm going to win it early and put on a lot of early pressure. This is exactly what he's doing. So in response to that, LGD will actually swap their duo lane down bottom, and this is good for 2 reasons. 1, it gets them out of that oppressive matchup versus Lucian Braum, but 2, it puts them bottom side of the map just in time for Dragon. And that's right where they are. You can see LGD positioning for first Dragon of the game in 8.5 minutes.
And 3, they don't risk giving away more kills to UZI, which would just completely lose them the game, but yeah, they will most probably get this Dragon, actually 100%. And now they come out on top in gold, but still, it is Starhorn with superior farm. And they almost have the gold lead.
Now, Starhorn will be able to trade the turret back for that Dragon, so keeping it even as far as those objectives are concerned. But, you know, Dragons respawn, turrets don't. So you can say that's good for taking down turrets because you don't have to worry about them ever. But if you keep taking Dragon into Dragon and Dragon, the gold starts to pile up. So now we get to watch Chuen. He's in his jungle, but not for very much longer, because it turns out there's a lot of other company in his jungle as well. So, oh, he face checks right in there, safeguards away from the shockwave. Corn getting a little bit juked out there, but see if Cola can defend this bottom lane turret from XQ and PYL.
Yeah, he forced out the shockwave right there, but still lost his red buff. And Cola should pretty much be able to defend this for quite a bit of time.
But big realization from Starhorn, right? Like you said, they're going to be able to push out a second-tier top lane turret just because 17 can't go there with Insect. So, great rotation from Starhorn. They realize the weakness. They capitalize on it for their second turret of the game already at 10 minutes.
Yeah, and finally the bottom outer falls down. But this is with Starhorn taking out the inner and the top lane, so they have a huge advantage. And now they can focus on other lanes.
Look at the way that the wards have been set up, especially bottom lane for LGD. They prioritize a lot of great vision, not only around the dragon area, but in that bottom half of the map. They only have they have a pink ward and then 3 other green wards scouting out pretty much everything that you need to keep your AD carry safe. Set up a good phase for XQ. But now it's actually a little bit of a weird swap. You don't really see this one too often. Zero and UZI, or not Zero and UZI, but UZI and Cola now going on a split push adventure of their own. And of course, they'll get the roam from their mid and support down there. 2 4-man grouping. Something you'll see a lot of. This one designed to put enough pressure bottom to both remove the safe lane from LGD and take down yet another turret, their third of the game.
Well, there was no man available for LGD to try and defend this turret, and that's yet another turret going down for free in favor of Starhorn. And LGD, they usually have the superior rotations, and in this best of 5 series, Starhorn is just completely outplaying LGD.
Come in, Shockwave, this one's gonna hit, but Corn, he actually gets kicked over the wall! Chuen, he's trying to save his life, but look at Wayless, he's going downtown, finds the dug in onto Corn, but now Starhorn, they are in retreat mode. Insect is not, he is gonna force the flash out there. Chuen, he's gonna safeguard himself away. Giant Growth comes out, but isn't enough to save his life. Teleport in from 17 and final hour from XQ. LGD very, very scared of going down there, and they will stay alive, but they only will find a pick onto Corn. Can they take this turret off the back of that?
Yeah, Trion was really close to going down, and even if they take this turret down, it is still Starhorn in the lead.
XQ actually pretty low, but look at 17. He's going in with the last breath. The counter strike from Cola keeps himself alive. But look at the dive coming in from Chuen. He goes in, gets out, almost alive, and he stays that way. Very low HP. keeping it in there. Now 4-2. LGD find a couple of very close kills.
Yeah, and even though Starhorn do have this big advantage in turrets, the gold is still dead even. So LGD doing a great job keeping it there. And they are just waiting for XQ to start ramping up.
XQ, keep in mind, he's playing against the player who got a pentakill on Vayne earlier on this season. I think it was just last week. So if there's anybody that knows the potential or is known for having a great Vayne, it's UZI. So XQ pulling that out against him. Kind of like the mid lane matchup as well. You'll notice the carries swapped sides, whereas it was, you know, Lucian Orianna for LGD last game. This time, they're swapping over to Starhorn, so we'll see who are the masters of those carries. But back to a little bit more about the macro game. You've seen the rotation from top to bottom, but no focus mid just yet for Starhorn. So with the way that the wards are placed out once again, they're a little bit lacking around the flanks. So you should see Starhorn look to, you know, ward those up as they look to pressure the last outer turret left alive. And you can see UZI coming out of base with an Infinity Edge. Just the power spike that SHRC need to start really contesting these objectives.
Yeah, and talking about the builds, looks like Wayless decides to switch his one up by a little bit. No Spirit of the Spectral Wraith out there.
He does have that amplifying tome, so you can build that into the Spectral Wraiths. Might be just going for it as a
He can build
item.
it into a lot of different items too.
Only time will tell, Nero. We'll find out where he's going with that one. UCI and Zero are going to soak up a massive wave of CS down in the bottom lane. And XQ and PYL, they are not in farm mode. They're trying to rotate, they're trying to secure these objectives, and with Korn recalling back to base, this could be LGD's opportunity to push that mid lane turret. But instead, they are not doing that. They are walking mid lane. There's 5 people in the jungle.
This is just not LGD. They don't know what to do
exactly
at this point in the game.
They're completely denied of all lane CS. It's been a good minute and a half since they've been in lane farming out those minions. So they all roam up through the upper jungle, don't get anything from it, and now they're all stuck around the area waiting for Dragon to respawn. They don't have the ward coverage that they needed from having been in the area before, and now they're desperately trying to clear out Starhorn's ward coverage and not get picked off by a shockwave.
Oh yeah, this is definitely a tough task. When you are facing Korn, he's such a great player, and avoiding getting caught by the shockwave is definitely a hard thing to do, but the dragon is there.
The culling! But a wind wall. So, a little bit anticlimactic, but the deep dive from Insec. He's going to get the dunks down, and look at the area of effect damage. You've got the counter-strike, the Orianna ultimate, and Starhorn blowing up LGD.
That's an ace.
Biggest wombo combo of the entire game coming up. Counter-strike, shockwave, AoEs out the wazoo, wherever that is. And Starhorn, they found it and got the dragon off the back of that.
Wayless, he went for the backlane immediately when the fight started, and he wasn't even able to take UZI out.
Now, wind wall out there for the culling, but look at Insec. He gets the standard, and look at this shockwave. Hits it onto 4 champions, even though Chuan gets back out of there. Look at this counter-strike right on top of the previous shockwave. And even though you had an immediate Lysandre ultimate onto UZI in the backline, it wasn't about the backline. It was about the engage that had already happened. LGD get team wiped at Dragon, give the objective away, kills away, and now Starhorn in the driver's seat.
And now it gets really ugly for LGD. You have 2 kills after that fight for UZI, 2 kills for Cola. And well, this is going to be a Jax with a lot of gold, plus UZI with a lot of gold. And things that you don't really want to deal with. While your XQ on Vayne is not really doing really great.
I'm pretty sure even if UCI had almost no gold, it'd still be something that you didn't want to deal with. His Lucian now 3-1-1, looking for a static shiv. He's going the crit Lucian build, which is a little bit different than you're used to seeing. Usually, oh, last breath off the knockup onto Insec. He's trying to escape to his turret, but not no follow-up. So unable to take him down. But now it's actually the turnaround. Insec went in when he shouldn't have, and PYL is right there to make him pay for it. Can't get away with that one. Insec going down.
Well, at first I wasn't too worried because Insect couldn't have gone down to this last breath from 17, but then he re-engages and, as he said, that was a huge mistake. It gives LGD a free turret, but there's Zero.
Zero's going in by himself, but he's got some backup coming in from behind. PYL is going to escape there with the wild growth. He gets out, but yeah, 17 is not as lucky. Chuan does make his way out of there alive. He's going to be able to safeguard like any Lee Sin would be able to, and no kills off of what looked like a great cut from Starhorn.
Yeah, that is a big problem. They had Chuan completely isolated from his team, and they didn't go for him. They just let him stay alive and run away.
Oh, now Private Wayla's a little bit behind enemy lines. The knock up down onto that Lysandra, and try as he might, that ice path is not the golden brick road. He's not going to be able to follow that one out there. And, well, I guess he will return to home, but it's by dying, not clapping his heels together 3 times.
Oh, pings onto the Baron from LGD. So they might be expecting another 20 minutes Baron from Starhorn. However, I don't think that they will be going for it this game.
This is do or die. If Starhorn Royal Club win this game, they are on to the semifinals of the, or I guess that would be the finals of the losers bracket, or the lower bracket.
Yeah, the final of the lower brackets. And then on to the grand finals if they can win against OMG.
You mean against EDG. OMG should be waiting.
No, it is EDG waiting in the grand final. And OMG, well, they have managed to come back in a series against Starhorn already. So that might be a great matchup to see.
That's right, so the winner of this will go on to face them, and if we get the rematch between Starhorn and OMG, that is going to be absolutely insane. The chance for revenge from Insect, from having those painful memories of the reverse all kills being relived for them. LGD kind of in dire straits. They're only down 3 kills, but it's more about the objectives. You can see giving that 6,000 gold lead to Starhorn Royal Club.
Alright, so the kills aren't really so
okay, well,
apart, but
like,
here comes Cola, yeah.
Yeah, like you were saying, talking about the kills not being very far apart, well, the discrepancy in power in top lane definitely is. And with no clear second item being built here for 17, I'd say Last Whisper. But usually you see like the Blade of the Ruined King if you want a mid-game item, or just a straight-up Infinity Edge, which may be the direction he's going.
Yeah, and 17 was bullying Cola in the lane for the whole time of this game, and now Cola just jumps on him and annihilates him. So that's a thing that made me stop talking for a little while.
Yeah, that is a
wow, that is already great. 302.
3-0-2 for the Jacks, 3-1 and 2 for UCI, and really just carrying across the board. Nice tanky build there from Insect. He diversified his damage now into the Randuins. And so what you're looking for is a battle between, you know, the scaling of XQ's Vayne, which is not actually doing all that badly. The problem is that he's 70 CS behind UCI, and UCI, he didn't pick a hyper carry. He went for the early game champion, and that was Lucian, and he made it pay. Or made it pay off, rather. 70 CS advantage. It's absolutely mental.
Wow, and LGD now in not the greatest spot to defend this turret, but they will get into the base in time. Still a scary thing for them right now. They cannot fight Starhorn at this point, and they do have to defend the turrets.
Wayless and Chuan down to the bottom half of the map. Cola is there, and he doesn't see Wayless waiting there in the side brush, so LGD, let's try to sweep things out. They're doing the spring cleaning. Cola and UZI, they catch out on it. Chuan, he's gonna get the culling, but it's blocked out. LGD, they keep their jungler alive, but are in a very weak spot to defend this bottom second tier turret.
Yeah, definitely, and Wayless, he used his claw to run away from the fight instead of going in. That was, I think, a little bit of miscommunication between Chuan and Wayless right there.
Communication issues. They've plagued both teams over the course of the season, from the Korean imports of Zero and Insect to Starhorn Royal Club, to just LGD trying to figure out 2 new carries to their own roster, even though there wasn't that same language barrier. But Starhorn Royal Club were able to overcome those issues and come into the playoffs looking incredibly strong. They took 2 games off OMG before kind of losing the series in a reverse all-kill fashion, so LGD have yet to win a game here in the playoffs. And the most interesting stat for me is that the matchup record between these two teams in LPL this season, they've tied twice. Not once, but twice. They've split 1-1 in games. So this is traditionally a very, very even matchup between both of these teams. But Starhorn Royal Club might have just, like, you know, turned it on for playoffs and are not looking for any more ties. Of course, those are no longer possible because it's best of 5. But you get the idea. It's supposed to be even, but Starhorn Royal Club are not making it look that way.
Yeah, they definitely stepped up for the ending of this split and then for the playoffs. And they're looking really strong. And personally, I thought that they are going to go very far in the upper bracket. Meanwhile, they just lost in the first game. It was a bit of a surprise for me, but still, they will be fighting. They will be going for the lower bracket finals, as it looks right now. But LGD, they still have the chance. They need to fight. They cannot give up. And there is the Baron pressure from Starhorn. So Baron turning the games around, maybe.
And it's not just the Baron pressure. It's more the, just look at the incredible ward coverage around here. Oh, the kick flash and onto Zero, trying to get him in trouble, but look at the culling. It's not really going to do all that much, but it's the Insect getting the dunk off. Another big wombo combo being set up here, but where is the Orianna shockwave? It's Wayless ulting himself in the middle of everything. XQ's in the front lines. Not sure why he was there. And Starhorn just blow the carry lineup apart. 4-4-0. And now PYL is going to go down. It's a 5-for-2 exchange as Starhorn crushed the fight.
Oh, it's a triple kill for UZI. So it's once again the story of the game. In the previous one, it was Korn coming in with the Yasuo, getting the triples. Right now, it's UZI jumping into the fights, getting the triples. And LGD just cannot deal with the carries of Starhorn. Both UZI and Korn completely destroying the lineup of LGD. And there is Chuan alive, but I don't think that he'll be able to steal the Baron. No way to come there in time.
Probably not. And even still, going for that would have been pretty suicidal anyway. We're going to get a replay of this. Look at Chuan. He forces the kick flash to start the fight, but Zero's just like, hey, I'm exactly where I want to be. He starts the fight, and now this is where Insect comes in big. He gets a huge Cataclysm once again. You've got the knock-up, the knockback, the shockwave, and everything you could possibly want all right in that Cataclysm. Now, there is the Lissandra ultimate, and while it was effective, the damage just wasn't effective, or the carry lineup, the backline for Starhorn was untouched by that. UZI able to find the follow-up kill for the ace, taking out LGD.
The shockwave was there, but it missed completely. So even without Korn's shockwave, Starhorn can come out on top in fights. And in the previous game, LGD without the shockwave, they couldn't do anything.
Oh, but the ultimate coming down, final hour onto Cola. He's going to pop that counter-strike, but he could not get the stun out there. Giant crows from PYL. Is this going to be kiting enough? XQ comes out with the execute. Up top lane onto Cola, but Insect is going to try his hardest to come in here with Zero. Start to find an initiation here on to Chuen, but they just can't find it. The culling across the wall. Catches out a little bit onto XQ. The safeguard a little bit janky as it tries to go over the wall. There's the command shockwave right into Lissandra ultimate. Wayless alive for just a second longer, but
oh, UZI takes the turret.
So UZI goes down to turret, but that Zhonya's hourglass from Wayless looked like it bugged out a little bit. And of course, Zhonya's on Lissandra has always been very buggy, but it's kind of sad to see it right there as it only lasted for about a second. I'm not sure what was going on there. Wayless expected a little bit more invulnerability. Oh, diving through the turret. 17 gets out with just the last sliver of his health.
I thought that Insect was still gonna go down to the turret back then, but yeah, he got the shields from Orianna. Quite okay. But the sloppy dives from Starhorn continue. UZI just tanking the turret.
UZI so open. Oh my gosh, the teleport back through. Trying for the flank in here. 17 can't win that, so TP a little bit over aggressive, didn't have any follow-up for that, but yeah, UZI so OP, he can shoot and kill people through Zhonya's hourglass. Not necessarily something I would have expected, but UZI makes all things possible, I guess. Zero gonna get knocked in, or knocked out there rather. Insect looking for the engage. Needs one more standard into ult combo to try to catch somebody out. But already Cola jumping in onto Wayless. Wayless should be able to get alive, but oh, Insect gets a huge two-man Cataclysm. The ball coming in there from behind as well, but it gets reset on the wind wall. Still trying to get into a good position. The Shockwave onto XQ. And that'll take him down. He's still actually staying alive there in the back, but yeah, no questions asked. SQ actually survives that, and now it's actually UZI with some bad positioning. XQ trailing far behind. He's getting the Wolf Camp actually blocking out the majority of that culling. Zero gonna get slowed out there by that Glitter Lance. LGD do not want to overchase this. Wayless looking for the engage over the wall. Ice Path not going in.
Oh, wow, and that was a risky thing for LGD. They could have just gambled on killing both UZI and Zero, or they could have fallen back. They chose to do the second thing, and well, Starhorn, they lose the fight in the end, which is a little bit worrying. LGD, it's not like it's 7-1 in turrets this game. LGD actually have something.
It's true, and if Starhorn start losing, maybe a couple more fights like that, LGD are right back in this game. And honestly, LGD come into this matchup as one of the few teams in the LPL this season that really do have a strong grasp of the macro strategy. And while Micro might win you your lane matchup early, when it comes down to the late game, it's the macro strats that matter. And LGD, they've found a nice pick out there. Cola, that's twice in a row that he's gotten really outplayed. Top lane, of course, the 1v2 didn't work out in his favor. And then still not being a presence there in that fight at all. XQ starting to find some kills coming his way, and he's completed his first 2 major items.
Yeah, and XQ has actually been doing quite a good job in the fights. Sometimes he got caught off guard, but sometimes he stays alive through impossible situations, and that's a really important thing for LGD. If they can get XQ going on this vein, on the hyper carry, the comeback is real.
I'll try my best, and I think they'll try their best. For XQ, he's probably the one with the most to prove here from Starhorn, just because he is replacing STYZ, one of the big legends as far as 80 carries went in LPL. So he's got some big shoes to fill, and honestly hasn't shown up quite so much. Game 1, his Corki was monstrous, but the rest of his team just weren't there to follow up. Now, Wayless going in with the Ice Path, but no, will not choose to follow it up. Poking intensifies, the inhibitor finally falls, and SHRC find the kill and back out.
Yeah, and that was not a great problem for them. They didn't lose a lot of health, and they got this inhibitor quite for free, and the Baron will be coming back in just a minute. So Starhorn, they will just focus on poking LGD to keep them in the base and then turn around, go for the Baron. But yeah, they have been struggling with closing the games out lately.
They always seem to overdive, especially Insect goes a little bit too deep. Now, Twen is catching out Zero. There's the Ice Path over the wall, not going to be followed up there. And Zero knows he's got the buddy system going on. He's going to flash in. There's the Glacial Fissure. It's blocked out by the wind wall. And now there's a great position for XQ. He's actually kiting back towards behind the Cataclysm. Staying safe, tumbling. He's got the damage, but use the eye. Look at the damage through the back line. He's going to get ulted immediately there by Lysandra, but Wayless is going to go down after that. I don't even think he had time to use his Zanya's Hourglass, much less whether or not it worked. But with the entire team left dead on the ground, it's Starhorn Royal Club that'll come up with a Game 3 victory and a 3-0 win in their best-of-5 series versus LGD.
Oh, and that was an impressive series. Every single game they had the confidence, they had the great advantage, and 3-0, that's a crushing defeat for LGD. They luckily get into the playoffs after getting perfect games at the ending of the split, and they just fall out of it with an 0-6 record.
Heartbreaking to watch, and you can see just the encouragement there on the Starhorn faces. They know that they came one best-of-5 away from being eliminated from the playoffs or from going down to that 4th place spot, but with their victory tonight, they will advance, and there you can see the next best-of-5 on your screen for tomorrow. It's Starhorn. They get the rematch, the revenge against OMG. We'll have that best-of-5 matchup, same time, same channel here on LPLEN on Twitch TV. And I hope you guys have enjoyed the English coverage of the LPL here tonight. If you have any feedback, use the hashtag LPL, and we'd love to talk to you about tonight's games. I am Rapid. I've been here with Nero. This broadcast has been brought to you in part by our friends at Esports Heaven and Games in Asia. But of course, it would not be possible without viewers like you, so we thank you all for tuning in. Have a great evening, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.